Nathan Batesh has been described as spectacular, special, and dominant on the pitcher's mound.
Maybe sets and delivers. He struck him out. Second strikeout of the inning.
Ground ball right back to Nave. Stares him down a long time. 1 out.
Some have gone so far as to say that by drafting Nathan, a captain gets a bye to the World Series. And to date, that has held up as truthful. In Nathan's first year in 2017, he led NWO to a championship. But the next 2 years, Z-Pac and SmackDown fell in Games 5 of the World Series in each year. What seemed like a certainty is suddenly questionable.
Let's go! I'm working my ass off for you guys! This guy's switching on shape! I need 10! I'm working my ass off! Let's go! 1, 2, 3, down! 1, 2, 3, win!
While soft-spoken off the mound, Nathan is quite boisterous on the mound, sometimes insulting others.
He was the worst pitcher to take it! He was the last one! Guys, get up, get up, get up, get up! Get up, get up, get up! Ground ball! Navy goes to third! There's one to second! And have a double play! A double play! Let's go now!
Despite his talents, why does he feel the need to scream while he's on the mound? What does he make of his 7-8 World Series record, including 2 consecutive Game 5 losses? Where does he place himself in the history of great YMSL pitchers? Here is
Thank you
Naby.
so much for joining us. And just so everyone is aware, the terms of our interview is that everything is on the table.
All on the table. You've been hounding me for months, so we're finally doing it.
We're here to ask you some tough questions.
Let's go.
We have questions that go way back because you did impose a media ban on us during the season.
Okay.
For whatever reason.
Okay.
We will get there.
No problem.
But first, let's
Is
take us back.
Marabia going to be in this interview at all or no?
Well, let's talk about Marabia.
Okay.
Let's open up
Is
with
he in
Bobby
the pa-
Marabia because
Is he in the pages?
we did some
Got
homework.
7 pages of
We have
notes.
some questions that we want to ask him. Bobby got you to come to the YMSL. He was recruiting you for many years.
I don't know about recruiting. He was always too cool to ask. You know what I mean? He just wanted to know if I wanted to move up out of the minors. He would throw that text once a year. You know?
Okay. Now the rumors we always heard in Deal was that you couldn't come play in Deal because your wife wouldn't allow you to leave so early in the morning and get back so late in the afternoon.
That was all a play because I didn't want to come to deal, so I just blamed it on my wife, you know?
Okay.
But till today, she still gets asked questions.
Yes.
You know, like, I still blame it on her, and she still takes the fall for it. Thank you, hon. I love you.
Your Brooklyn career. You played every season in Brooklyn.
Correct.
Did you win basically every year? Or?
No, I think I won all 4 times in Brooklyn.
Okay, so now you come to the YMSL 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
And when you arrived, you immediately won a championship, first year out of the box.
I got very lucky.
Why was it lucky?
We had a great team.
Who'd you have?
We had Joe G, number 2 overall pick,
Mhm.
or number 3 overall pick now. We had Chalu, number 1 or 2 overall. That's another one. Yeah.
And you won the championship as you should. I mean,
Yes.
that team is pretty stacked.
Yes.
Um,
Still went 5.
It still went 5?
Yeah, every I've never seen a World Series not go
Didn't
5.
go 5.
Never
That's
seen it.
amazing.
Never. I don't know what every World Series goes 5. No, or I guess not.
Not really,
I
no.
know, it's crazy.
So now in the off season, Bobby made a rule, the Navy rule.
Yeah, that was a joke. You don't have the first pick in the 3rd round. You have the last pick in the 3rd
Right,
round.
right. And it's a big gap from the first to the last in the 3rd round because it's big players
Yeah.
over there. And
But
how
he did a great job. He made some moves. He made some trades. We got Jake Dweck. We
But
got
before
him.
who you got, how did Bobby sell that to you? How did you allow that the draft
don't
is
get
going to
it.
be manipulated
I don't get
against
involved.
you?
Like I don't know. Like what am I gonna tell him? Call him and say no? I didn't call Bobby ever.
Right.
You know, the only time I called Bobby was when my uncle Steven missed Game 5 of the World Series the first time
Right.
to try and move it.
Okay, fine. Did it feel good like for your ego that there was a special rule put in place.
No, I just feel like it makes harder to win a championship, but it didn't really affect us. Like that wasn't even a thought in our team's mind. We made the pick, we made the team. Z finagled a great team, and we should have won that year also.
So you were with Zach on this team.
Yes.
So the first 2 years you've been with these incredible, amazing players somehow, because Zach is also first round.
Zach's amazing.
He was the first guy taken after you this year.
Correct.
Okay. Now you got to the World Series against Daniel, your friend,
Yes.
and my friend JT.
JT's your friend.
Yes. So you playing against them.
What is that? Like a pill? I know you hate JT.
No, I don't hate anybody. But Dano,
You're gonna ask me the hard questions. I know who he doesn't like. You know what I mean? He talks to me way too often to tell me who he likes and doesn't like.
did you see the comments from Dano last year at this time when we interviewed Dano and JT over their breakup? Did you see what he said about you playing against him?
No, he said there was one word, maybe disgusting was the word,
Yes.
or what was it?
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Disgusting. It was fun. We had a great time.
That's fun to you that you were called disgusting by Dano.
By Dano?
Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
100%.
He did say he loves you after that.
Of course I love him. He's
All right.
great.
Now, so you have nothing to say back to Dano on him calling you
Nothing to say
disgusting.
back
It's
to
all
Dano.
love. It's all
Can
love.
you finagle Dano to get the first pick this year? I'd love to play with Dano.
I heard this past year that if he had the first pick,
He wasn't going to pick
he
me.
was going to trade it for a boatload of picks and go with Max Hadid, who we wanted.
A lot
and
of people
bunch
say
other
that,
guys.
but let's see him in that situation.
It's
and
pretty
see
tough
what
to
happens.
do. Let's see what he's in that situation. By the way, in that World Series, Game 1, I believe they jumped on you for like 8 runs.
7 runs. We lost like 7-5, I think.
Yeah, I think on Logan Road.
On Logan Road.
So what happened there that the great Nate B gets hit up for 7 runs in Game 1 of the World Series?
I don't know. We, I guess we weren't ready. It was a weird morning. It was raining.
Mm-hmm.
We were supposed to play that morning. Then it stopped raining, and then we played in the afternoon. It was a weird day.
So out of rhythm.
I don't know. It was just a weird day. I know we had great eggs by Steven's house, though, in between what was going to... The Z-Pack year was the most upsetting year for losing rather than this year.
Why?
I think we had a great team, great rhythm. We were closer. We came back. We should have won. We weren't the number 1 seed, but we were the better team. I think we were the better team on Z-Pack than we were this year.
Odds are you're never going to play with someone like Zach.
Zach again. I know.
How that year it happened because they changed the draft that every first round captain could get a first round pick.
Well, A.B. Saka had the first pick overall, and he traded it to Zach.
Right.
That's what happened.
Okay, speaking of A.B. Saka, this year you play A.B. Saka week 1.
Yes.
Okay. Now, all the reports are there's a war going on at Fireman's West. We build it as you versus A.B. Saka week 1 dream matchup. 2 top champion pitchers against each other. And, we came into the year with all the new rules that we're trying to make the league a little bit more fun.
But you didn't, what's the right word I'm saying? You didn't push the rules before we signed the waiver, but
Right.
you didn't push the rules.
Actually, when we revealed the draft order, we pushed the rules that day.
Okay.
Heavily.
Was that on a video conference?
It was on a video conference.
So you gotta make sure we all know that stuff.
Okay, so you didn't know about the rules.
I didn't know about the draft until Max said, I have first pick, I'm picking you. I'm like, what?
Okay, so whatever it is, bottom line is, no big deal.
Yeah,
It
we had a
was
great
week
year.
1. We gave a warning to AB and you to please clean it up a little bit. We don't want the fighting, the screaming, the cursing, or whatever. So AB responded and he goes, you're right. I'm going to put it behind me. You're not going to have another problem with me the rest of the year. You decided to go on some sort of
Just with you.
mini crusade.
Just with you.
What do you mean just with me?
I was just talking to you.
Yes.
During the weeks I was at the games, I was fine.
You were fine at the games, but Why were you taking it so personally against me?
Just as for the tag.
Like, bring back Bobby.
That was a great one.
Not wearing the shirt every single time we tell you go put your uniform shirt back on.
Yeah, the shirt was tough.
Why was the shirt so tough?
I need tank top.
It was a week early on in the season where you played a terrible, atrocious, Elliot Sacco-led sack attack team called Mean Machine.
Week
Team was terrible.
That was the Bobby Marabia, bring back Bobby.
The bring back Bobby week. You beat them in game 1. You were up 3-4 runs in the 7th inning of game 2.
I think I just died. I couldn't throw a strike after that.
You couldn't throw a strike. You were walking people.
Yeah.
Sandy Sacca, base hit.
I don't think he got out.
He didn't get out all
the
day.
Older guy?
Yeah.
He didn't get out.
Yeah. Elliot Michon, a sub coming into
Base
play his
hit.
first week. Game-winning base hit. Charles R. Sacca, not the third baseman, the one they picked up that they drafted out of AAA just before that game also. Base hits against you.
Everybody.
What happened to you that you're letting bottom of the order of a terrible team beat you?
I have no idea. I guess I died. I ran out of power. I ran out of energy. Week 2.
Week 2, running out of energy. Do you think the rest of the league saw this and said, okay, now you're hittable?
Maybe.
Did you feel that you were hittable now?
No. I don't know about hittable. I feel like I'm always hittable. It's just about trying to toy around with the batters and get them out, you know?
Right. But I feel like there's like an intimidation with you, there's like an aura, you get into the box.
Yeah, that's part of the gift.
As a number 7, 8, 9 batter, they should not feel like they could be able to hit you.
I don't know what happened. It was April 1st.
Yeah.
It was nice weather out. It was at Deal School. I don't know. I guess I died. I died with game 2. Who knows?
Okay. So now, there was talk around the league that, wow, maybe he blew this lead. Maybe he's hittable now.
For sure.
And then there was also, oh, the league is coming down on him, not to be screaming, not to be cursing. He can't be himself on the mound. Is there any truth to this?
No, zero. No truth to being myself on the mound.
Do you think you're at the peak of your career? Are you in the prime of your career, or are you?
I have no idea.
Are you still getting better? Are you declining now that you're in your 30s?
No, I play softball 11 days out of the year.
Right.
Literally, that's only if I make it to the World Series. You know, I do nothing else. I do not play any other sports. There's nothing better than being on that mound.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea. I think I still have it. You know, I think I still have it.
All right, good. Do you care at all about like the history of the league, like the great pitchers like Ike Edid, and do you care at all about winning multiple rings to like
I would
compete
love
with them?
to win multiple rings.
But is it just for you to win multiple rings, like everyone wants to win, or is it because you want to be like known as the top
The best
pitcher
of
of
all
the
time?
community? Yeah.
I want to win multiple. I just when I get onto the field, I want to win. When I'm in it, I want to win. Like you're asking me in November. What's today's date? November 21st.
Yes. But how does it feel when you hear like Ike Edid is the best pitcher in the history of the community, or Red Messer is the best pitcher, and not? And do you think that should be you?
I don't really think about it that much.
Okay.
I would love to see some more videos of the leagues back in the day, and I think you did a great job announcing when you were coming out and taking over the league and doing all that. I think you sent out a great video.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bring back the history for sure. Teach us more history, Norm. You know, where's Sandy? He knows everybody's stats from 1976.
Is it amazing what he knows about softball?
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
But when you look at the trophy and you see my dad's name on 1976, the first year, and then 40 years later, me and him are on it together, it's definitely a special thing.
It's
for
wild.
Sure.
It's wild. Okay, how many more years is your wife going to let you play?
I think I look up to a man named A.B. Cohen.
Okay.
He is 60 years old. He is bringing the heat every single week. Yeah, I'll have a bad year or two. Very, very, very few years does he have a bad year. But I want to be A.B. Cohen.
A.B. was unbelievable this year, by the way.
It was great.
He was unbelievable.
And he had some, he had a tough year too. And he still pulled it through together and came through a great year. So yeah, A.B., I look up to you. I hope I can play till 60.
Okay, World Series. was wild.
It was great.
I never saw a World Series like
It
this.
was great.
Game 1, you're up big. You're up 6-2 in the last inning. Raw Dog, Benster, whoever they get on, bottom of the order. Insignificant, totally insignificant hits. 2 outs, bottom 7, and a couple of base hits when you're up by 4. Then they turn the order. Eddie Richty base hit. Greenberg base hit. Finally, I think Ike Mavora hit the ball off of Buka. The whole pickle with Joe Greenberg.
Yeah, that's
1 run scored. Joe Greenberg is 4 feet away from scoring the other run.
We nailed him at the plate.
You nailed him at the plate with a perfectly executed pickle.
Perfect throw. Oh, the pickle. Yes, sorry, I'm thinking of 2 years ago. Yeah, there was a pickle, back and forth, perfectly executed, behind.
Behind. It was Jimmy actually picked up the ball, threw a strike to your
He
father.
went back, yes.
Yeah, crazy play. Can you remember how you felt, though? You just walked off the field. Now it's 6-5. You won the game. You won the game.
I remember screaming duty. I remember thought that was one of the worst games we played in the year. I remember screaming, that was duty. We played horrible. We got lucky, we got the win. On to the next game.
But you got lucky, you got the win. That's the key.
Lucky.
You escaped with the W.
Yeah, we came out with a W.
Game 2, you guys go up big. 5-0 lead. We're thinking this is going to be a sweep now. You got lucky in game 1. The White Walkers had to have taken that game 1 to have a chance. Now they're getting killed 5-0. And then I saw a very significant play by Teddy Braha. He let a ball that was a high pop in my eyes.
Yeah,
he let it drop in front of him. I don't know how he let that drop. Made it 5-3.
Yeah.
Next couple of guys base hit. And then they tie the game at 5. And Mo Cass hits that triple, which turned into a home run. And
they took the lead, 6-5, and then we didn't score.
You
top
didn't score.
7,
Top
and then
7, game over. Now that to me was the whole world. Like that was the key to the World Series. This game, 5-0 lead.
If we win that game, we swept.
If you win that game, you go up 2 games to none.
And then we won game 3.
Yeah. So I mean, first of all, how did it feel that you blew a 5-0 World Series lead?
Horrible. We lost. It was horrible.
Did you feel at this point like maybe I can't get this team out through 7 innings? They keep coming back.
I don't think I've ever felt like that. I can't get this team out. I thought, wait, maybe this team, we played a really good team. I mean, that was Eddie Richty, Joe Greenberg, Hank Shalem, John,
Mavora. Very long deep lineup.
They were a good team.
Abe Haber also, Shimmy also.
Yep.
Very deep lineup.
Yep.
Ocas himself.
Yeah.
Okay, now
that's probably one of the better teams put together in YMSL, has to be.
I mean, when I saw them in the beginning of the year, I said this team is awesome. When I saw these guys at the bottom of the lineup hitting the way they are, and like Abe Haber batting 8th or something,
right.
I said this team is great. But they couldn't get it together until the playoffs. Then
I remember playing them in the World Series in the season and saying, "Oh, this team hates each other."
Yeah,
they hated each other at a point, but they pulled it together.
Yeah, and I think they did hate each other until they just strung off W after W and won the title.
They were yelling at each other in the season, and I was like, "Wow, this team hates each other. Let them lose it for themselves." You know?
Right. But Mocas managed to bring them all.
He did a fantastic job.
Bring them all together.
He did a fantastic job.
Game 3. You guys go up. You won game 3, but again you went up huge. I think you had a 6-2 lead, 7-2 lead, something like that. Yes. And then Albert Sitt made that catch in foul territory.
Yes.
Do you remember? To stop their rally.
Yes. Heard him.
They had the tying run in scoring position.
I saw Albert Sitt the other night.
On that play. So again, now there's a creep in your mind as a pitcher. We're getting the leads. Your team is scoring runs for you, which is huge. You would think a team scores 5, 6, 7 runs for you, it should be game over. And yet again, you needed a gorgeous catch by Albert Sitt just to win the game by 1 run. Is there any doubt creeping into your head at this point?
I don't think you could ever think like that. If you think like that, you're never going to be successful.
So you didn't doubt your abilities. You didn't lose your confidence at all.
0. Do you lose your abilities? Let's say you open up a store and it doesn't work out. Are you not going to open
You gotta
another
keep
one?
going. You know what?
I don't even think about that.
You gotta keep going. You gotta pick yourself up. But there could be doubt that enters your mind, and it could have an effect on you. You could say, maybe I can't do this.
I don't think so.
You don't
No
think so?
way.
Okay.
How are you gonna play? How are you ever gonna be successful?
All right. Just seeing if there's going to be any effects with Navy going forward after this.
Oh, gotcha.
What turned out to be a devastating World Series.
I don't think it was devastating. I think they deserved it way more than we did. They were a better team. They wanted it more. They were. I thought Z-Pack was more devastating than this year.
But why do you think they wanted it more? You don't think your team had the hunger?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Was it like they were much more yelling,
I think
rah rah?
they were probably more. I don't know how was their chat? What did they say about their chat?
What?
Their chat, was their chat off the hook? I remember Z-Pack chat was off the hook. It was crazy.
Yes.
The chats. I
My
feel like
sources.
a chat is a very important part of the.
So you guys didn't have a chat that was.
Nothing.
Maybe these young guys that were on your team.
We had some great young guys. We had some really good guys.
Okay. Game 4 was on the Friday.
Oh, that was the worst game.
You pitched your best in that game.
Yeah, I came to play.
You pitched phenomenal that game. It was on the Friday, Fireman's East, 0-0 game. It became 1-1.
The fields were gorgeous that day.
Fields were gorgeous. It was extremely hot. Steven got a base hit, your uncle got a base hit
so
to
did
give you a
Marty.
1-0 lead, but then he threw a ball from first base to left field for absolutely no reason. And Greenberg ran around the bases, 1-1, and it stayed like that. 7th, 8th, 9th inning. Watching from the sidelines, you looked dominant and unhittable that day.
Yeah, that was a fun day.
And then you got very unlucky in that it was getting later and later and later,
The
and we had
rabbi
to
called
stop
the game.
the game. We had the rabbi stop the game.
Rabbi stopped the game.
If this was on a Sunday, it could very well be likely that you win the World Series that day because
They had the bottom though.
yes,
And how many more innings was I gonna throw shutout ball?
it looked like you were gonna go.
Keep
For
going.
a
No,
while.
they had guys on. They had guys on towards the end. We had to get them out of jams.
A couple of mini jams.
Yeah. How much longer? Or maybe we were gonna explode one inning. We had the bottom. We probably needed 2 more innings to really explode.
Right. Okay. So now we wait 9 days. We show up Sunday morning
Without Steven
without Steven. Okay.
for the second year in a row.
Steven was trying to get your team to rally behind this idea that you're not going to show up for the game without him,
Which we should have.
without your 9th round or 8th round pick.
It has nothing to do with the 9th round.
And so I think that he actually distracted your team during these 9 days
Could be.
over this stupidity
Could be.
that we're not going to show up for a World Series
I
game.
think it was distracting. We just didn't come to play that Sunday. That was like the worst game we've played all year.
Game 4 ended immediately.
1 second.
In 1 second, they scored a run very easily off of Max's glove, actually.
It was
Hard grounder, but it was off, it was a ground ball to
a
short.
short ball. I'm
And-
short center. Something.
Yeah. And then Game 5, they put up
We
some
didn't
runs.
come to play.
You guys
we didn't come to
looked
play
dead
all
that
day. All day.
Yeah.
We had. That's why it didn't feel as bad this year as it did last year. We walked into that day. We had nothing, and we were done since the start of the day.
Right.
We were over.
But you left it to that one day. Really, the Game 2 was the killer. Up 5-0
2,
Game
and then
2.
the Friday we should have won Game 4.
Friday.
There was a lot of. You could have said a lot of. We had chances to win that series so many times. I mean, you could say. Game 2 we should have won. Game 4 we should have won.
A lot of
Game 5
chances.
is the only game we shouldn't have won. You know.
Right. Okay. So, how has the off season been since?
Off season has been amazing, but then it's all good. I'm very excited for next year. I can't wait for year 2 for Norm. You did an amazing
Yes.
job year 1.
Thank you.
So we want. What do you have for us year 2? Talk to me.
Well, first
Make
of
a
all,
sale, though.
okay.
Make a sale.
No, it's going to be bigger and better than ever before.
How can I help?
Well, let me ask you this. You're sitting here, you're like the nicest guy in the world. Every time I see you, you're the nicest guy. I see you in the
See,
street
there
of
you
the
go.
city. I see you in the local 7-Eleven store shopping.
Sure. 33rd of
You
Madison.
invited us, you said, ask me any question you want to ask me. You're smiling the whole time. And then you get on the field, and like
You gotta
Daniel
win.
said, he's disgusting out there.
No, I'm not disgusting. I'm just
Is that an
competitive.
act, or is that how do you really change when you get on the mound? Is it an act just to intimidate people? What is it that changes so much?
It could be intimidation on the other side. Very competitive. So when you get on the field, you want to win. You let out a nice little roar. I don't know. I guess people are too. I don't know. We're going to play softball Sunday morning. It's the best time of my life. You know what I mean? Everybody gets crazy. Everybody wants to win. So everybody's trying to find an edge for themselves. So when you I guess when you go to the World Series a few years in a row, when you win a championship, and you have an edge on you for sure, and bring it on, But if you wanna, if you're gonna text me midweek that you're gonna rip me up, or if you're gonna text me midweek and tell me how much you're gonna win this game, or you're gonna send me 17 voice notes. There's only one person that sends 17 voice notes. Be ready to take it also,
Okay, you mentioned before Max is the best captain. You love playing for Max. But then you also said the team didn't show up game 5. Is that on Max?
I don't think you can bring it on Max. How could you? I don't know.
I'm asking you if it is. I'm not putting it on it.
I don't know. It just, you have days and you have bad days. But we weren't ready. I think we were ready. How many more games could you play?
Right.
Just show
up and do what you do.
You gotta want it.
Who didn't want it on your team?
We all didn't want it. But 1 through 12 didn't. 1 through 12 showed that we didn't want it. Steven's a big inspiration leader on our team, and we didn't have him there for sure. And we didn't have him last year also. So he's a big. You've played with Steven.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
He's phenomenal.
Steven, do you understand the Steven? Don't say, "Oh, you're missing your 9th round pick." Do you understand what you mean? But you're not having Steven on the field.
I myself am a 9th round pick, and I always felt I was an important part of the team because you could bring other things.
For sure.
You have to keep the team together. I think Raw Dog was huge on their team. He was a 10th round pick.
For sure.
So I'm not saying that in that way. I'm saying that in no way would you postpone the World Series game because one guy is not there.
I got it.
So. But I also think...
I did learn that I will not be picking Steven anymore going forward because of this nonsense you're running 2 years in a row.
Okay, so this is breaking news right here. You will not play with. You refuse to play with.
Refuse.
So speaking of refusing to play for, is it true you have certain captains that you will not play for? Is this fact or fiction?
Last year, yeah, for sure. I don't want to play with some people.
Who will you not play with?
Why do we have to throw that on the vote?
Everything's on the table.
I can't listen to JT's voice notes every day. I cannot do that at midweek. JT, I love you. You're the best. We're great. We're boys. I will never play for you, JT. I will never listen to any nonsense midweek.
What else that you want to play with?
I would love to play with Dano. I would absolutely love to play with Z again. I don't know how that's possible, but I would love. Give me the captain's list.
Sonny Shalom, do not play or play?
I would play with Sonny Shalom. We got along last year for sure. We had a fun year together. I think I would play for Sonny again.
Okay. Who else was there? Mocas.
Mocas for sure.
Max you love. What about, he wasn't captain this year, but Jack, Jamal, and Marty and that whole regime, they've been around for a long time.
It's like trying to sell something to the dead horse, He's dead. That's God. Marty, I love you, but you can't be captain anymore.
Okay.
So tell me more about the league. What's going to happen? Entice me a little bit next year.
I think the most important thing is we have to keep the teams good. I really thought every team was competitive this year.
Yeah.
Every team had talent.
Yes.
I don't want to make it 12 teams and then every team is watered down.
Right.
That's the most important. So 8 teams, I assume.
Do you have a lot more guys wanting to sign up this year?
I don't know yet because we didn't open up the sign-ups.
Okay.
A couple of guys retiring, I'm sure, or whatever, but
Who's
guys coming
retiring?
back. Well, we've heard rumors of Salim retiring. We heard
that's fact. Yeah.
A.B. Cohen, the pitcher, always says he's retiring, but never retires.
You tell me, I'll make a phone call.
Right. And then people coming back. Jack Abadi didn't play last year. He can't wait to play.
Great. I'd love to play with Abadi.
Yeah.
Is that a possibility?
I played with him. He's coming off an injury. If he goes second round, maybe it's possible.
Is he going to be a captain?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. But I played with him 1 year. He's great to play with. And
great.
Chucky is great to have on the team.
But I have my dad.
Doesn't matter.
Is this even though this too? Okay.
Yeah. They'll curse each other out. It'll be great. Okay, so that's it.
I heard Eshko. I think Eshko should be a captain this year. He has my vote, if that means anything.
It does, because
I think he had a great great surge at the end of the year where he really pulled the team. I think between him and AB, they did a great job.
And then we get Saban wants to be a captain. Ali wants to be a captain. What do you think of these?
Savon, I don't know. Savon's crazy, but he could be a good captain. But he could also be a Jack Jamal type team at the end of the year where it just falls apart. They go 2-12.
Could
you
be.
know?
JT drafted your father this year, by the way.
Of course. Only person that might take him to be soul is JT. And who takes him in the 9th round? JT, you know?
And that's how the tone was set.
Right there.
Right there on draft day. All right, so maybe
Happy to have you.
You
Thank
claim
you.
you're unaffected by the
Thank you.
what looked like a devastating loss, but you're feeling that it was more devastating the year before.
I think it was. It was hurtful last 2 years ago. This one, we didn't show up. Played a good team. They were good.
Nate B,
Thank you very much,
thank you
Norm.
for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Very generous with your time, your insight into the head of the number one
Do
pitcher.
you think I'll be a number 1 pick this year again? You
Yes.
think so?
I am confident you'll be the number one pick
Really?
this year. I think people were talking up Shalou last year, and when he was on a team that didn't have a great supporting cast, it wasn't pretty.
Right. Right.
So you've been to the World Series Game
How
5
about
3 years in a
Joji?
row.
How about Joji?
Great. Joji's great, but he's
Joji
center
could be
fielder.
good.
There are
Right.
center fielders out there.
Right.
You know?
Right. Okay, I'm very excited.
All right.
Can't wait for the year. When's emails coming out? When's opening day?
It's
You
all
don't know?
coming.
It's
We're
all
going to
coming.
bombard everybody soon
Okay,
enough.
great.
Don't worry. Enjoy
right.
the off season.
And don't fake me that everybody paid and I was the only one that didn't pay.
Everyone
yet.
paid. Ask
no
them.
Way.
Ask
no
the
way.
people.
It was February 1st.
Ask the people.
Okay, I will. I'll ask them. Thank you, Doug.
Nate, thank you so much.